Hi, I'm Arthur, and this is part 16 in a 20-part series I am doing covering second founding successor chapters in order of the legions. Do you need to have seen the other videos to understand this one? No, but it would make me happy. The 16th Legion is probably the most significant legion in the entirety of the setting. Dare I say they are in fact the Warhammer 40k. Having many names, the most recognizable for those of you who pay attention to the Horus heresy is the Sons of Horus. As you could tell by the name, they are kind of responsible for the Horus heresy. Well, sort of. This guy was more responsible than them, but I mean, let's not split hairs. The Sons of Horus had an ambitious goal, an idea in their mind about how the universe should be ran. It wasn't a great idea, but in all honesty, they did have a point. A lot of the pre-super-uper-mega chaos beliefs stemmed from the fact that they were a legion dictated by their ability to be a bit self-analytical. To put it bluntly, they were worried about their place in the universe, when they themselves were just living weapons from their own perspectives, created to fight an unending war. So, what will they do when the war is over? As the Great Crusade draws to its end, you find out that many of them were worried about being under the command of bureaucrats and government officials rather than generals and their Primarch. Unfortunately, Horus never really instilled upon them the idea that maybe having a hobby in your free time is a good thing. I know notoriously Ahriman had a vineyard that he made some pretty fucking good wine at, and a lot of the Ultramarines were being trained to be statesmen and government officials, but unfortunately a lot of the Sons of Horus were ex-gang members and didn't really like the slow life. So let's skip ahead to the end of the heresy to kind of get to where I need to go. To say attacking the Imperium of Mankind was a bit of a misstep is a bit of an understatement. Horus, dead as shit, and the majority of the Legion, dead as well. Your allies blame you 100% for what you did, making them think that you were the winning dog in the race, only to rug pull them last minute and send them into an exile. All your greatest soldiers are, for the most part, killed, most likely by Sigismund. You flee to the Eye of Terror, and what happens next? Well, you're hunted by the Imperium you betrayed. You're hunted by the traitor legions who think you're weak and hate you for leading them down this path. Also, you're hunted by new Chaos warbands who wish to scavenge relic gear off of you. So, what do you do in a time like this to survive? You were worried before about your life as a living weapon being brought to an end and you didn't have anything else to do, so you decided it's time to embrace that idea of being nothing more than a tool for violence. A leader came from the ashes of the Sons of Horus, one that was of, if not the highest ranking captain of the Sons of Horus, probably close to it. The leader of the Just Aaron, Ezekiel Abaddon. Abaddon is a topic for another time, because he is the driving force for the Black Legion. But I think I want to focus on the warband as a whole rather than focusing on him. So, with someone who has so much supernatural strength, being chosen by all four Chaos Gods, recognized as a genuine threat by all the Demon Primarchs, he has launched himself to reforge this legion into something new. It's actually a bit of a misnomer to say that the Black Legion is a successor of the Sons of Horus. It technically isn't. It is something new entirely, made up of the cannibalized members of every legion, every warband, and every traitor to the Imperium in the universe. Abaddon does not care if you hate him. He only cares if you hate the Imperium more. If you hate the Imperium enough to set aside most of your differences, just so you can band together and wage one last glorious blood-soaked war against the Imperium of Mankind. So the Black Legion has some of the biggest threats to the entirety of mankind. See, if you're a member of, say, the World Eaters, and you just want to have a grand scheme plan to murder the entire universe, the splinter warband of the Black Legion known as the Hounds of Abaddon exists. You can join them if you so choose. You want to worship Nurgle, or you are a member of the Death Guard and want to seek even greater purpose than simply spreading disease? The Bringers of Decay are another warband of the Black Legion for that specific subsection of Chaos followers. The Emperor's Children, or just generically the worshippers of Slaanesh, the Children of Torment, and, of course, you can't forget Tzeentch, and if you are a Thousand Sons member, who can't stand both Ahriman and Magnus, the Sons of the Cyclops got you covered. There are subgroups for every member of the Black Legion, which is very much to their benefit, especially on a lore perspective. It makes them significantly more dangerous as they have the ability to deploy any strategy they choose, as they have members of every legion in their midst, so they can send in attrition warfare specialists from the Death Guard alongside siege warfare specialists from the Iron Warriors. Both would complement each other and make it miserable for anyone and anything to fight against them. Secondarily, on the tabletop, this pleases me as someone who has pretty severe ADHD. If I am able to, on a whim, play whatever the fuck I want, however the fuck I want, it makes me incredibly happy. Like, having a miniature warband of Black Legion that are actually just Night Lords, kinda cool. Even though I gotta acknowledge, even if by accident, that Reuven exists. Oh god! He made another reference to the Night Lords trilogy. My goodness, is that fucking uncommon? Jokes aside, it allows you a breadth of freedom in your army and theory crafting to have a bit more fun. So there is a lot to know about the Black Legion, as they are essentially the Ultramarines of Chaos. They are everywhere, and if you look at any box of Chaos Marine miniatures, you're gonna see Black Legion as the paint scheme, unless it's more faction specific, like say the World Eaters of the Death Guard. So because of this oversaturation, I have been kind of put into a bit of a box here, where I can cover so many different aspects of the Legion themselves, and still have not scratched the surface. Like, for real, I haven't even mentioned the Black Crusades, which is basically a dozen or so century-long tantrums that end with Abaddon having a bit of a wet fart in public. I mean, aside from the last one, because that one kinda, yeah, it ended with the oopsie the cicatrix maledictum, which is kind of important, as well as the destruction of Cadia. But then I'd have to mention more about Abaddon, more than the Black Legion themselves. Same with interesting characters like Iskander Kaon. Cool dude, genuinely just kind of a chill guy. And one man clutched against an entire small squad of Grey Knights once, and that wasn't even the most impressive thing he's ever done. So yeah, the Black Legion are incredibly important to the setting due to them essentially being the end-all be-all bad guys. At the end of the day, every other warband and legion look better in comparison to the Black Legion, as they will take the worst of the worst into their ranks, which they often aim to do. So someone like the Night Lords looks significantly better in comparison to the Black Legion. Same with the Word Bearers. The Word Bearers kind of look better than the Black Legion. It's kind of complicated. It depends on your perspective, really. Like, you have to look at them immediately and realize they are the worst of the fucking worst. You cannot think of them as good guys, and sometimes there are characters that have genuinely good motivations and intentions for the Black Legion, but they always end up being a bit complicated to write and discuss. I'm probably going to do a part 2 and maybe even a part 3 discussing aspects of the Black Legion at some point, so I can discuss Abaddon, the Black Crusades, and my opinions on Abaddon as a whole, which, for the TLDR, fuck that guy. But for now, I think I have to call it here. I want my videos to kind of be as focused as possible so that I can discuss a singular topic, and the topic today is the Black Legion. The Black Legion is an all-inclusive, hyper-violent regime made up of all the old legions and the new traitor warbands that have sprung up across the universe. They are probably the biggest chaos threat in existence in the current setting. I know that Vashtor and Be'lakor are up there, but it really depends on the situation to know which ones are the most dangerous or not. What do you think about the Black Legion? I know they are kind of a mixed group. Like, in general, people tend to not think too highly of them, but as a villain or a villain legion, I think they are pretty cool. And then you have some other people who think that they are probably one of the most important, if not most interesting, chaos warbands in the setting. I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. Alongside that, remember to like and subscribe as it helps the channel out immensely. Special thanks to my channel members for supporting me, and if you want to support me as well as gain access to additional content, then become a channel member today. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.